King Henry, so struck by the popularity, authorized his own very big revision of the whole Bible, which he issued to every parish. We call it the Great Bible, and an enormous number of copies of that were made and survived. But everybody knew that Thomas Matthew's Bible, the first one, was Tyndale, because between the Old Testament and the New, there are some ornamental letters, WT, which tell everybody that that really is the work of Tyndale.
Well, Jesus commanded the apostles, he said, go and wait in Jerusalem until you get some power from on high. He said, then go into the whole world and make disciples of all nations. In other words, make people my disciples under my discipline, doing what I do, teach them what I've taught you. If you're going to do that, you need the words of Jesus, you need his teachings. You can't make disciples unless you've got the stuff that you need to do the job. Those are the tools. It's a bit like saying, go and build some houses, but by the way, you can't have any tools or materials to do it with, well, you can't build a house. You need God's word. And Jesus said that man doesn't live on bread alone, he lives by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. Now, people didn't have access to that word, and so you could come to a knowledge of God and you could understand, but if you really, really wanted to do the things that God wanted you to do and know the things that God wanted you to know, if you wanted the depth of that freedom and that life, you needed access to those words. And if you didn't have access to those words, you couldn't have that. And Tyndale knew that. So it seems to me that it wasn't a superfluous thing he was doing by bringing God's word to people who would not have it. It seemed to me to be essential, absolutely essential. And the legacies, you can't measure the legacy of Tyndale. You know, if Tyndale hadn't have done what he did, you don't know if the King James Bible would have ever been translated in the first place. You do not know the consequences, because there are thousands and thousands of people who received God's word and changed their lives and changed other people's lives. And if you think the world's in a mess now, imagine how bad it would be if Tyndale hadn't have got that word to those people who needed to hear it.
Tyndale, we know, gave his life for translating the Bible. And we must always remember when we hold a modern English Bible in our hands that the English Bible was made in blood. Very important to remember that. At the same time, we rejoice that what Tyndale opened has never been shut up since. It's always there.
Tyndale paid a great price to obey God. We must not forget those who helped him in his task, the friends, supporters, and fellow workers who also gave of themselves to make his work possible.
Around Tyndale were very